Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and I've got a good one for you today. We're getting a lot of news talking about how this is going to be the most expensive Thanksgiving ever, and how so many people are going to travel, but they're not going to go very far. And before I get into it, please take a second. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And today we have a sponsor to the channel, the Fighter Flare flashlight, which I'll talk about a little later. This thing is amazing, and I'll cover it a little later. But one cool thing was when I parked, I came out my car and noticed that the Nautilus, the submarine, was parked here. Got to talk to the crew. They're working on it for maintenance. So very cool. This is from Catalina Island, and it's the submarine you can go on, see all the wildlife and everything off the island. The island here, Catalina Island's 26 miles away from us, and just off the coast, but they just drove it here and parked it here today, and they're doing maintenance, checking the engine. But just a cool thing to see this. And this is Alamitos Bay right here. This is in Long Beach. But what a cool thing to see, and nice to find that. So this Thanksgiving, you're going to see, more people spend more money for gas. Gas is going to be at its highest level around the country, with an average price of about $3.75 a gallon around the country, which is high. But you're also going to see that 73% of the average people say that they're going to travel a distance. Okay, the majority of those people say that they're not leaving the state. So people are going to travel, they're going to drive, they're going to go visit family members, but they're not going anywhere. They're not spending more money at the airport. Air travel is not up. It's down right now. And people that are driving are not going long distances. One of the biggest problems with this year and with the expenses of everything is that people say gas is too expensive and travel costs are too expensive. So it's very interesting to hear, the dichotomy of all this stuff and everything that's happening with people's problems. But, Thanksgiving this year, the most expensive Thanksgiving ever. Things are going to be up an average of 17%. Turkeys are crazy as far as the price. Now, people are starting to send me deals and images, and Publix has got 49 cents a pound, Dan, and, young, small tom turkeys. And then, you get the deals that you got to buy two and you got to buy all this stuff. And it just makes it crazy as far as these discount shopping things. The butter shortage that was really non-existent is now off. It's kind of been forgotten when it comes to the butter shortage. And, we're seeing, vegetables at a peak, and people are not going to go out like they have in previous years. Now, one thing that I kept getting sent to me was what the average turkey dinner is going to cost. And the average is saying you could feed 10 people for $53. I'm like, how? How is that possible? Seriously. So that's the other thing I want to ask you guys is, what is the average cost of Thanksgiving for your family? Because, with my girlfriend, she's going to be in the hospital. She's not. She's going to. We're like, maybe we should just plan on going out this year. And I'm talking to family and friends and people, and let's look at restaurants and things like that. Buffets are outrageous, guys. You could spend $100 to go to a restaurant and get turkey dinner, which is nuts. So that's not going to happen in my house, but that's out there right now. So really want your input on all this stuff. What are you seeing? Are you seeing, even to be able to find turkeys? A lot of frozen turkeys at certain Walmarts now that have been delivered, and we're just not seeing the steady round of advertising that we've seen in previous years on TV, and we're not seeing advertisements for Black Friday yet that we would normally see a week in advance. So share your thoughts on all this stuff. Are you going anywhere? Does gas prices affect things? The big problem that I'm seeing with everybody, and everybody you talk to from the event, is the shrinkflation. What's missing when you travel? And the one thing that I demanded from the hotel, so it's going to be interesting to see all the people that came out and stayed at the hotel. We had like 30 some rooms when you added it all up. It was nuts. So I demanded that if, the people's rooms get cleaned every day, and that if they wanted, anything, that just please get it to them as quick as possible. And the hotel was great, but I'm really curious as if people got that, or was it just Dan that got his room cleaned and fresh towels and all that stuff every day? Because I hate traveling and not getting the extra perks. That's the advantage to going to a hotel. You might as well sleep in your car if you're not getting, extra benefits and things like that. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. Let me know what you experienced with Thanksgiving, what your experience with shopping. Are you seeing shortages right now? Are you seeing things sky high? Vegetables are at a premium right now. And I just think that these restaurant prices are outrageous too. But let me know what you guys are experiencing. Let's talk about our sponsor, the Fighter Flare flashlight. Let's face it, right now, you need to get an edge. And that edge right now is the Fighter Flare flashlight. This thing is absolutely unbelievable. The 800 lumen light is unbelievable. Really strong, different settings. Got the strobe light that's with it. But the other thing that's very cool with it is that you can break a car window if you needed to. You've got a cutter built into it. It's completely solar powered. And this thing can even charge your cell phone or other devices. Absolutely amazing. And it's got different security lights. Check this out. Set it down, porch light. Amazing. Set it again, different settings. And even has a security light. That's awesome. Go to Fighter Flare today and hit fighterflare.com. Save 15%, try it for 30 days free using the Black 15 special code, and get 15% off. But this is absolutely amazing. Okay, check it out today. When you start talking to business people about every aspect of it, big companies and small companies, they're all faced right now with many different challenges. And let's start with the supply chain issues. So many companies still do not have a regular supply chain for whatever they sell. And I'm not just talking electronics, I'm not just talking about construction, I'm talking about everybody is dealing with these supply chain issues right now that are a huge mess. And the problem with this is it's making it so that companies can't plan, they can't make a lot of money right now, and sales are down. We're seeing sales down across the board with so many different industries. And had meetings this morning with people, and they were telling me, one guy was telling me in particular that, hey, I don't want to start cutting people's hours, but I have to. And it's that or I lay people off. So everybody gets to keep their job, nobody gets to get laid off, but we've got to come up with a plan. And here's the problem that we have with our payroll. Here's the problem that we have with what we're selling. Here's the problem with what we have with how people are paying us and getting paid from customers, and it's creating nothing but problems. So the choice is to stay in business. We're going to have to cut, the amount of time that you guys can work right now, and we need to come up with something. And we want you guys involved with it. Nobody wants to hear this. Nobody wants to discuss this. It's awful. There probably won't be any year-end bonuses because I don't think things are going to turn around in the next 45 days between now and the end of the year. But you guys will have a job, but you need to look at this. Now, some people are very frugal and they manage their money. And if they took a 15% hit for 90 days, they wouldn't feel bad about it. Other people are going to be livid about this. So there will be people that will quit out of this, which may solve the problem for them in the first place. But how do you feel about that? I just think people are going to be livid over this right now. And, this is somebody else's problem. It's not my problem. I work for you. I do my job. I should get paid. This is your problem. That's what I think a lot of people are going to do, which is unfortunate. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. We just got our wholesale inflation numbers, and we're supposed to jump up and down because it's at 8%, and it was supposed to be higher. And isn't this great because it's down 0.2% or whatever it is for the wholesale prices? It's not good, guys. It's not a good number at all. It is awful right now. And again, the trickery of, oh, it's good, it's great, inflation is curbing and it's peaked. No, this is June. You smell that? It smells like June, guys. It smells like the beginning of summer, and everybody's hopeful. And in June, we had the same thing happen. And inflation took a turn and it was over with zero. It's great. Remember that? And that's not how it is, guys. So we don't have the problem with the boats off the coast right now. That's not there every day. You're seeing a problem with getting things. You're seeing problems with distribution. You're seeing trucking companies that are not seeing orders placed. So they're canceling their lines, are canceling shipments. They're canceling, trucking companies want to sell their trucks. That's horrible right now, guys. So, you're starting to see things like that. It's going to be interesting to see if FedEx grounds more planes and sells those planes. And I had people write me and say, you don't understand. These are the old fleet, Dan. There's new planes. Well, I had a meeting with somebody who's very familiar with one of those startup airlines. It's not really a startup. It's kind of a nice. And they travel certain cool sectors and have planes that seat about 16 people. And they can't get planes fast enough. They would expand across the country if they could get more planes. So it's very interesting to see these problems unfold before us. But the average, person doesn't want the problem to come to their own house. That's not what they want. They don't want to deal with money. They don't want to deal with less money. They don't want to deal with these prices. And it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out with travel to places like Hawaii. And I know people that are traveling this year, and I spoke to somebody who may join us for Thanksgiving. He goes, all my family's going to Hawaii this year. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So very interesting how this holiday season is going to unfold. And, I think that we're just seeing the beginning of this. I think that 2023, it's going to be a huge problem. The affordability of houses. Think about this. Housing prices have dropped, but the affordability is the worst it's been since 1985. That was the year I bought my first house. Give you an idea, 1985. That's how old I am. Anyways, 1985 is how the affordability index is that bad, and that's how broken it is right now. So they anticipate that rates between now and the end of the year will hover around 7% for mortgage rates, but that does make things less expensive, less affordable. And it's funny. Consumer sentiment, I love this. Out of University of Michigan. I always love this house. That's just beautiful. The awnings and really sharp right in the water right there. The pretty boats out in front. So that's their backyard, which has got Dan walking through it. But the affordability index, and this used to be called the misery index. And again, everything gets changed. We're not in a recession. We're in a growth recession, guys, which is ridiculous. This is a good old-fashioned recession right now that is only going to escalate and get worse right now. The problem with money and the problem with getting it is going to be escalate and get worse right now. Bank of America and Wells Fargo are all talking about more closures, more branch closures, getting notices from people. This branch will now be ATM only. How do you have a building for Bank of America and all that's going to be operated in the entire banking hemisphere for them is the ATM in the building? How do you afford that? Is it just an office building then? Is it just for management? Is it just for loan operations? What is it? But I cannot understand the feasibility of doing that from an economic standpoint, renting a building of that size just to have the ATM connected. So share your thoughts on this stuff, guys, because this is getting pretty crazy with all of this. One thing that's very evident is that people don't have money, and you can see a pattern with stories when it talks about how people are cutting back. And this one's a perfect example. People are not tipping 20%. And I am seeing more and more people when I'm out at restaurants having meetings with people and eating and just having coffee and just working at different places. I love places like Whole Foods that have, restaurants built inside of the stores. If you meet somebody, there's a buffet of everything. Oh, I don't like this type of food. Oh, I only eat organic. Oh my gosh, I'm a vegetarian. Okay, well, you got everything there. So I've never had a meeting at a place like that, and that has gone south because of the food situation. But people are not tipping the 20% right now. People are cutting back. And man, oh man, do I believe in tipping people, but I also believe in good service. And I have places that I go into a lot, and we, had breakfast at Sugar Shack on Sunday in Huntington Beach, and I love the family that owns the place, love all the workers, and I'm always over tipping everybody and telling everybody what a great place it is. But then you go 2 hours later and you have coffee with somebody, and you can't get your coffee refilled. The woman's rude and she's smug, whatever. And it does deter you from giving people money. Do you guys do that? Does this affect you guys right now? Are you just constantly tipping the same thing? I think people just don't have the money to do this. And I think that people are skimping when they go out because all the service I talk about it too. They're not buying the appetizers at the high-end restaurants. They're not buying dessert. They're splitting meals. And, I'm one of those guys that, I've learned, to do that with my girlfriend, especially, is that the older we get, we're just not, we're taking so much stuff home. And I hate to have food go to waste when, someone like Fran Glover, and there's somebody that's definitely being affected by that. So speaking of that, Fran's a great person. If you ever want to donate to her, please reach out to Joseph Dreamhouse. And I also want to thank everybody with their thoughtful wishes for my girlfriend and her cancer diagnosis. And she's been fighting this. She had a recurrence in 2015. She's been doing amazing and had a setback. Unfortunately, this has happened time and again. A lot of people have written me about different ways to fix this. And one thing has been intermittent fasting, which I absolutely believe in. And Chris, the financial prepper, got me into that. And I've lost 15 pounds in a month. So, very easy. And I haven't started the workout program, and just been so busy with the party and everything else with business. But now I can start to do the workouts with it. So it's going to be neat to see how this escalates and where it goes from there. But thank you, one and all, for all your, everything that you send me from the medical space. I've never discounted this stuff. I've never thought it was quackery. I've never thought that people were nuts or anything like that, because I'm telling you guys, I could tell you stories about the startups and about the loony things that were presented to us with cancer cures, and we shine lights and we drain blood and we do this and we hop on one foot, and it's insanity. And you can't put those people on a stage and have investors raise money and have your name tied to it in any way, shape, or form because of the insanity of that. So you see a lot of companies come and go. And now that I've had this break from this, and you look back for some of these places and the websites are down and the phone numbers are disconnected and things like that. But your healthy eating, your ways of changing your life, and different things that you can do all make a difference. And research this, guys. Use this time of the year, before the end of the year, before it's resolution time, to make changes in your health, make changes in your finances, make changes in everything that you do, because it's much easier to do it now. And all these people that go out and get there, I'm going to go join the gym. I'm going to go do this, and I'm going to get myself in shape. Okay? It's crazy. Everybody does that, after Christmas and before New Year's, and the gyms love it. And I met a guy that owned a gym, independent gym, and this was 2013. He told me this story. All we would do, you want to join? Tell us how much you want to pay down, because inevitably 85% of the people never show up again. First week or so, they're all gung-ho, going to meet the trainer, going to get myself a program. Oh my God, this is a lot of work. Yes, it is. Okay. anything worth doing is difficult and a lot of work. Remember that. So very quiet out in the bay right now. A lot of houses with under construction on this side of the dock. What these people have. These little electric boats, it's coming right there. That's a Duffy right there. It's a nice little boat, especially for tooling through the bay. But share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. You know, I really think that the older we get, we need to eat better, get rid of the sugar and the shenanigans out of our diets, and movement. It's kind of like your finances. Spend less than you make. Oh, I'll have some left over. Yeah, exactly. You know, so let me know what you guys think about all that. I absolutely love my subscribers so much. That's why I do that big party. But people that couldn't make it and people from out of state that send me the greatest things. Cindy sends me the greatest Lennar Homes ad that is insane. And if you didn't see it, you wouldn't believe it. And it says, this week, inflation dropped, interest rates have dropped. It's time to drop into Lennar Homes and buy a house. It's also time to start smoking peyote too. You know, come on, guys, go to Lennar. Here's the number from Lennar Homes that we want. Understand this, over the course of the last 5 quarters, okay, or 4 quarters, because we're waiting for the 5th one, their unfinished homes have gone up and up and up to where last time it was, I think, 28,000. I can look at the number and I'll have the number for when they announce it. But 28,000 went from 16, 19, 24, 28,000. Okay, that's just through the roof. But that's the kiss of death for Lennar Homes. It is approaching, I think, $9 billion in inventory. Everything's great. Drop in and buy a house today. The supply chain issue, they say, is solved. But think about this. The problem with baby formula, remember that was a big deal? First part of the year, it's still a big deal. If you have babies, you're freaking out still because the baby formula problem has not been resolved yet, which I did not know. And I feel bad because I just got a story sent to me that it's still not resolved. So the baby formula problem is still backed up right now. And the other problem is we have too many containers, empty containers that are here. The price of those containers were sky high during the health crisis to get stuff over here. We have tens of thousands of the empty shipping containers in Long Beach Harbor, which is where I'm at right now, and the Port of LA up the street, and San Pedro over the cool Vincent Thomas Bridge. And the problem is that we don't sell anything to anybody else. Now, every time I say that, I get the people, I don't know, we sell lots of stuff that we ship to places, Dan. No, we used to export so much, and now we don't. We buy from other people. You know, we're a country of bubbles. We're a country of services. We're a country of buying what everybody else makes and trying to get as cheap as possible and making other people rich. That's a problem. We need to stop that. But are you guys having trouble with baby formula? Are you having grandkids that they can, and your grandchildren and your kids that can't get baby formula for their kids? Are you seeing that? Share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys, because it's awful. But we need to make more things here. That's the problem with this, from a non-manufacturing, country right now. The other thing is, get a lot of people. I'm having meetings to sell one of my businesses right now, and packaging it, and what my role would be with the new company. We're working on all this stuff right now. I'm going to head back just because I want to. And it's fascinating, as you do this, because I've helped a lot of people do this. And now you start to go to the people that were good and people that, it's a great opportunity to work with people that you may not have worked with before. And you put together the assets and you put together what the company does and what's of value. And I own a service company, guys. We're not manufacturing medical devices. you're having events, and you're having the email lists, and you're having the directories, and you're having all the value and all the connections, and everything that we have of value. There's a value to that, but we don't manufacture anything. So it's interesting to see how other people value this. It's going to be interesting to see how it's sold, how long they're going to want me around, okay, once that happens. And, I'll keep you guys informed on that. But again, when you meet people, and again, for your hobby, if it's cars, if it's boats, if it's anything, if it's any outdoor activity, when you meet people of knowledge, introduce yourself, because there's times like this you can go back and go, hey, remember me? We met 3 years ago came by my event, or, oh yeah, come by, let's talk. And you can do that. But things are supposedly back to normal now. So with that, you need to broaden your relationships and meet more people. I get so many people that either like to work around other people or don't like to work around other people. There's a lot of lone wolves out there, and a lot of women that don't like to work around other people. That's cool. But what kind of person are you by yourself? Are you a good person by yourself? Are you an asset that a company would want if they were going to buy you? You're a good worker? I don't need to be a good worker. I'm independent and I do my own stuff. Okay. You can think that way, but there's going to be a time that you need to see if you're good working with others. And maybe we'll see if this is a good time for Dan to see if he's good working with others. But again, all this stuff is fascinating. The business climate is fascinating. I'm actually glad I'm doing this now and not during the height of it, because that's just more interesting. So ask any questions, share your thoughts and all this stuff. I'm really curious as to what you guys think about everything with the supply chain issues and with the economy in general. You guys got your money's worth on this video, because there's still more to cover. Sam Bankman-Fried, the CEO of FTX that lost his $16 billion fortune in a day, is about to be immortalized by a man named Michael Lewis. Who is Michael Lewis? Michael Lewis wrote The Big Short. He wrote Moneyball. And now he's going to write a book on FTX. And as far as I'm concerned, it can't come out soon enough. FTX went bankrupt. And one fascinating thing about this was that Sam, or as they called him, SBF, when you were cool, SBF was at a crypto conference in Saudi Arabia, and he was slamming 3 weeks ago the Binance CEO, Peng Cheng Shao, and badmouthed him to people. People thought that was awful, and then they pulled out of the deal because he insulted him. Oh, wow. The bankruptcy filing, when you file bankruptcy, people say we have 1,000 plus creditors. Well, they have over 1 million creditors, 1 million creditors. This is going to be, people should go to jail. People should already be behind bars right now, but it'll be interesting to see how that happens. Lauren Sanchez, the girlfriend of Jeff Bezos, just announced. Now, she was a weather lady here, weather girl, okay? Oh, that's terrible. Weather gal here, attractive, okay? But she just announced that she's going to go to space next year. And they're going to do a study to see how silicone reacts to no gravity. Okay, so that'll be interesting. And Sam's Club, final story, Sam's Club CEO just announced that to compete with Costco, they're going to lower the price of their hot dog from $1.50 to $1.38. They're going to lower it by 12 cents to beat Costco, which I don't know about you guys, but I don't go to Costco to eat that hot dog and they don't have any iced tea over there. It's awful. So I don't do that, but they're going to show each other's hot dogs, see who's bigger, and film it for OnlyFans. So we all have that to look forward to. So $1.38 hot dog package, guys. Hot dog and a drink, $1.38 at Sam's Club. And come into OnlyFans, I guess. Okay? People are like, what's that? Please don't forget to hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Take a look at that Fighter Flare flashlight, because I got them to do the Black Friday deal a week in advance, because I think this thing is absolutely super cool. Onward and upward, guys, and I will see you guys very soon. Thank you for being here. Also, we have a new email address that is in the video description below. Hello at iAllegedly. Hello at iAllegedly. That's the email address. From now on, onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon.